Welcome to my YouTube channel, where we bring you the captivating stories of people who have had near-death experiences. In each episode, we sit down with an individual who has survived a near-death experience and hear their first-hand account of what happened during their NDE. From encounters with deceased loved ones to feelings of peace and love, these stories are often heartwarming and thought-provoking. Don't forget to subscribe and hit like to our content.
Hi, my name is Josh. I am not sure of who to talk to about what happened to me, but I feel the need to share this. I, as far as I know, did not have a near-death experience, but something similar. I had never even heard of near-death experiences until my experience, which caused me to search everywhere to see if what happened to me is normal. First, I will tell you a little about my past. I had a fun and loving childhood. In middle school, I got saved. During middle school, I started going through some type of depression. Years later, I decided that it probably was hormonal youth changes or something. The depression lingered around, even while having a good life. It became disturbing that I could never pinpoint why I struggled with depression. I always tried to be nice to everyone, and most people were nice to me. In high school, I went through some real lows through my parents' divorce, and I didn't have a clue who I was or what my purpose was in life. I prayed and fought with God, trying to understand life. One night I felt as though I wasn't able to live anymore. I went and found a pistol that my mom kept in the house. We had just gone to the shooting range a couple weeks before, just to make sure it still worked in case of ever having an intruder come in the house. I took the pistol behind the house and got on my knees, praying to God that I'm sorry that I had to do it, but I just couldn't stay here any longer. I was sobbing, but I put the gun to my head and pulled the trigger. It just clicked. I pulled it over and over and it just kept clicking. I threw it down and screamed that I couldn't even kill myself. I told my mom what had happened and she took me to get depression medicine. She had the gun checked and apparently the firing pin had broken, which was not a common thing. The medicine made me feel like a zombie, and I tried several more with no luck. So, I quit trying after a year and tried to go on with life. Got married in 2006 to my high school girlfriend, whom I'm still married to. In and out of depression, we had our first child in 2008. After we were pregnant, I had many new questions arise, like how am I going to raise my boy when I don't even know how to live? I decided to actually read the Bible myself this time instead of just mainly listening to preachers. It was shocking. I took the Bible very literally, and the Old Testament painted a very different picture of God than I had thought. I had always questioned how a loving God could send anyone to hell, but that was my only problem. Now I had more. I decided to get a concordance to look into the Hebrew and Greek words of the Bible, which instantly caused me to start questioning the hell that I was taught. My struggle started then with God and why all the confusion in this world if He loves us. That pushed my depression deeper and deeper. In 2017, I decided to give up on God. He never really answered me anyway. Is He even there? If He is He someone I would actually want to love anyway with the way things appeared to be going on earth with His creation? Accept Jesus or go to hell? What about all those born in different parts of the world with very different religious beliefs? Is it their fault they were born into another religion? I started doing things that I wanted to do, without all the guilt. I decided to quit playing the world's game and choose my own path. No regrets and no worries about what others thought. Giving up on God was fairly easy, but I couldn't help but care about what others thought, which still led me to some degree of guilt. I decided that the only way to quit playing the game was to take myself out of it. I felt like if there was a hell, it couldn't possibly feel worse than what I felt in this world. So, I talked to my wife, who stayed with me through all of my chaotic mind mess and depression. We had 3 children by this time. I told her I couldn't do it anymore. She knew that I felt suicidal already. I was always open with her. She said she wanted me to be happy no matter what that means, even though she would be horribly sad without me. She asked if I would wait 1 year, try medicine and therapy the whole time to give it one more really good try. I agreed. I found a therapist that I liked and finally found some depression medicine that was bearable. I was still depressed though. Almost every time I left the therapist's office, I felt better though. That better lasted an hour or two most of the time, and then back to reality, which was the depression. I was happy knowing this was it, my last year. As the months got closer, I could feel the relief coming. Almost excitement about my planned suicide in the January to come. One evening in November I got home from playing basketball with some friends. We played every Tuesday. I didn't get home until about 9:15 p.m. that night and my wife and kids were already in bed. I took a shower, put on PJs, and made a bowl of cereal to eat while I watched some TV. A few minutes of TV and a few bites of cereal in, I found myself in complete darkness. I was just in my recliner eating cereal and now it felt as though I was standing up in a completely dark room, all alone. I was confused but not scared. Then I heard a voice that said, "Look." I somehow knew it was God and didn't even question it, like it was just completely known to me. Then a sound started up like an old TV roll movie film machine. It was clicking, then a light was in the right side of my vision. Then the movie started and the voice said, "This is your life." It was from my earliest childhood until the present. It felt as though I experienced all my life in one moment. Then it was dark again. Then the voice said, "This is your life and how you see it." The projector started back up and started rolling again, only this time there was like an EKG graph above it. You know, with a horizontal line down the center, and how it spikes like mountains above the line. But it could also spike like mountains below the line too. Every moment of my life, the lines would go above the median line if I felt it was something good I did, or below the line if it felt like I had done something wrong or bad. It went all the way through my life again, with many peaks and valleys on the chart. Then it went black again. Then the voice said, "Now this is how I see your life." The film started up again with the same graph above it. This time the line never moved. It stayed flat in the center, never peaking or valleying through my whole life. About halfway through my life review this time, I started crying horribly. I fell to my knees in the dark, sobbing. I had never felt love like that before. True love. No judgments whatsoever. True, unconditional love. In that state, my love was reciprocating back to God as He was giving it. I had no choice. As His love poured into me, it went straight back to Him in perfect loving harmony. This was God. The true God. No lies. No bullshit. True perfection.